Hey guys, what's up? This is Pants Our Dragon, and today we'll be doing the top 5 best AD carries for patch 5.13. And in the recent patch, Kalista took a nerf to her AD ratio on her basic attacks, and I do feel like the tier list should be shifted a little bit just in terms of a different perspective, in which I'd say more oriented for AD carry mains. Anyways, with all that being said, let's get started. Okay, so number 5 is going to be Corki. So Corki is ever so popular still, and in this meta I do feel like it's more poke champions, so I do feel like he's really good here. And he also is really good when he gets some items because he'll do a lot of damage in the mid game, as he gets a pretty huge power spike coming from the Trinity Force. He also has multiple build paths, so he can go Bloodthirster for more survivability, or Infinity Edge for more damage, or even Blade of Rune King for tank shredding. So in a sense he's adaptable to many situations. Although he does kind of fall off late game, and his Q is kind of hard to hit in lane, especially if the enemy has like some kind of mobility like Vayne's Tumble. But he does make up for it with his pretty good mid game and poke. Next up at number 4 is going to be Kalista. Okay, so first of all, this is what the nerf actually did to her with the 0.9 AD ratio on her basic attacks. So her laning phase is still strong since her execution comes from her E, and since they didn't really touch that means her early game and mid game is still really strong. And she still has a 12% maximum percent health damage with her W, so that means trading with the enemy is still going to be in her favor. And if you don't want to deal with that nerf on her AD ratio, you can just go Blade of Rune King instead of Bloodthirster. But this nerf does hurt when she starts building some AD. So like after the Runons and Bloodthirster and Last Whisperer, it's all kind of downhill from there, since well her basic attacks do less than a regular AD carry. So she won't be as effective as say a regular AD carry past 40 minutes or maybe even 30 minutes. And if she does lose the laning phase, there's no really coming back for her since there's no late game for her. And so since for lower elo games, it's really inconsistent to play her, since you'll probably have games that go past 30 to 40 minutes. As for like Masters and Challengers, they will end the game before 40 minutes even comes. And of course they don't really throw their leads as much. And so that's why she's still viable in like higher elos, but for lower, it's pretty bad to pick her then. Next at number 3 we have Jinx. And my boy Poqito is going to tell you guys a few things on why I feel Jinx deserves a number 3 spot.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here talking about Jinx with you guys. So obviously you know a while ago she got a nerf to her minigun, which now makes her scale off levels instead of putting points into her Q. So obviously this does hurt her laning phase and she's very weak early on. However, this does not hurt her mid and late game because most of the time she should be using her rockets. Overall, her kit is amazing, having an AoE global ult, having a snare, a slow, and an AoE auto attack is amazing, and it helps greatly in teamfights being able to deal damage to multiple enemies at one time. I would also like to mention her passive is amazing and pretty OP if you ask me. When I think of Jinx's passive, I also kind of think of Katarina's passive, in that whenever you get resets, you're able to kill the entire enemy team. Just don't let either one get any kills or assists. And every time I hit W, I can't get over how far it went. I can hit someone at Dragon from bot lane with that thing. And the damage is not too bad. And obviously you have to mention the fact that she doesn't really have any escapes other than her E, if you can call that an escape, and is very vulnerable to assassins in lockdown. However, lucky for us, this isn't an assassin meta and it's a tanky meta. Except Gragas, he's an assassin. That guy was made to be an assassin. You can't even see that guy coming. Fuck him. But hopefully the fat guys on your team can actually peel for you. Unless it's solo queue and they're probably dry humping somewhere in a bush watching you die. Basically, Jinx is a fantastic choice for AD carry, and you should have a blast showing off with all your friends.
Alright, big thanks to my boy Burrito. Now let's go on to a better champ, which is going to be Vayne. Either this girl is super popular now and super fun in the lane, and I see a lot of people playing her, and when I say this, even the non-AD carry mains are playing her for some reason, or she's just really good right now. Either way, if you're an AD carry main and you have really good mechanics, you can easily carry teamfights as long as you don't get CC'd or tumble forward in teamfights and like, you know, initiate with Vayne. And I actually do that a lot when I'm jungle Vayne, so I should probably stop doing that and getting myself killed. But you guys know what I mean. If you can QSS the CC that might kill you, tumble and use the stealth to get away and kite enemies efficiently, and outplay people with your condemn, then obviously you can easily carry these teamfights, right? And even for these average players who play Vayne, I feel like they're still like doing their job and being like an AD carry, so I feel like she's a bit over the top in my opinion. Although she does have some cons, like for instance, she doesn't really have any poke. It's kind of hard for her to siege because she can get caught out by like CC from the enemy and initiating. And there are those people who think they're hot shit and can play Vayne at a really good level, like me. But start feeding and going like 0 and 3 in lane. But lucky for them, Vayne has a lot of AD steroids and true damage coming from her W, and just scales super well into the late game. Oh, and biggest thing why she's really good right now is because her lane bullies, Caitlyn and Graves, aren't really meta right now. So her laning phase isn't as difficult as it was before. And back at number 1 is gonna be Sivir. And I wonder why. Maybe it's because her R gives a lot of movement speed, and you know, that's a big stat to give to your team, your whole team, and so you have a lot of utility in Sivir's kit. Even if you fit 0 and 3 in lane, you're still going to be useful. Wave clear is also useful later if she's behind and can stall out the game, and her late game is extremely good, because she has probably one of the best defensive tools an AD carry can have, which is the spell shield. And yeah, she's just really good right now. She counters those poke comps by rushing down them and just straight up killing them with her team. Next up, we're going to do some honorable mentions, and first up is going to be Draven, and I've said this many times before, a lot of damage and very snowbally. Next up is going to be Graves, and you know, nerfs to its Q, blah blah blah, not as good. Whatever. Still good in my opinion. Just probably needs to wait for like the assassin meta or some squishy meta, since his burst is like really strong and he can survive the burst coming from the assassins, but in this tank meta or whatever, not that great. And finally, probably one of my favorite champions to play an AD carry role in a ranked game, Ashe. Okay, so this is the thing, AD carry mains won't really pick her because, well, I feel like they feel more carry oriented on the champions listed in the top 5. And as for my personal opinion on her, like, she's still going to be my number 1, but that's because I won't perform as well as other AD carries in my elo, and so my plan is just to survive the laning phase and be a utility bitch mid game. Also, she's really easy to use. Hey guys, so thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Big shout out to Poqito for helping me out with this video. Check out his channel right over there. He's my boy and he's a pretty good guy. So yeah, check him out. And if you want to check out the mid lane tiers, check it out right there too. I'm saying that word too much. Anyways, thanks guys for watching this video, and subscribe if you want to have some